What's going on, everyone? My name is Ray Lambert. I am a licensed therapist in the state of Rhode Island. Welcome to my new segment, Ask a Therapist, where I ask Instagram to send me a bunch of questions, get some advice, get some answers coming from a therapist. What do you think is the most important part of a relationship that allows it to be successful and genuine? I think the most important part of a relationship is the constant communication. Let's face it, we're not going to be the same people day one as we are year five. Constant communication needs to be established so that while we grow and while we change, we are in constant communication and in constant cohesion with our significant other. Communication is truly key. What's a good way for family households to create a fair 50-50 household with equal responsibilities without making it a job/battle for gender roles only? Refraining from I'm a woman, I do this and can't do this, or I'm a man, I won't do this, but I can do this, etc. Oh, that's a good question. I'm a true believer at whatever works for certain individuals works for certain individuals. Some people might like the whole quote unquote traditional man goes to work, woman stays at home, does the dishes, does the laundry, man does the lawn, takes out the trash. That might work for some people, it might not work for others. The main thing is that before you guys cohabitate and the way before you guys get that serious is you establish what you see for yourselves in the relationship. If you're a woman, but you feel like you want to cut the grass, you feel like you want to take out the trash, and you feel like, your man should help out on the dishes every now and then, make that be known. Therefore, before you guys are even in that situation, it's already a clear cut standard on what's to be expected. Okay, mind you, I'm asking these questions exactly how they're written. So if there's some grammatical errors, it's not on me, it's on whoever wrote it. Question number 3. Why do so many men in this current time are having mental health problems? So I do want to say I believe that everyone, not just men, but women too, have had an uptick in mental health issues. Why is this happening? A majority of the reason is due to isolation. The reason for the increased isolation is because of things like this. Cell phones, anything with the screen that is keeping us inside of the house, inside of our rooms, and not into the outside world. When we get into the outside world, we become less triggered by social situations. We become more comfortable in conversation. And the less time that we spend doing these things, the more that we are depressed about being inside and the more anxiety driven it is to be social with other individuals. Question 4. A previous therapist told me that my mother has narcissistic qualities. When she gets into attention seeking behaviors, what's the best way to deal with her? I believe that this is a great question. I would first have an open conversation with my mom, explaining to her how her behaviors make me feel and how that if I don't distance myself, that I am just engaging into these behaviors, therefore promoting them. Remember, creating boundaries that make you happy will always be helpful. After a breakup from a serious relationship, I have really bad anxiety about ending up alone. Any advice? Yeah, anxiety can be crippling. Questions surrounding yourself after a huge breakup. Am I worthy? What did I do wrong? Will I ever find my person? Are going to be magnified, right, during this time. I believe the best course of action is for one, to identify a person you deem as being really attractive. And this isn't just physical, this is mental attraction, this is career wise, this is financially, style wise, personality, everything embodying attraction. After you detail this person in your head, it will be proper for you to make up goals and align those goals with becoming that person. What you have now done is made anxiety provoking questions and turn them into actionable goals that you will now take through. Setting up an action plan and moving towards these goals of this detailed individual will not only decrease anxiety, but will allow you to become a person that is operating at a higher frequency. Operating at a higher frequency will also attract other individuals that are operating at a higher frequency. I had a great childhood with amazing parents and no trauma. Yet, I have a hard time being faithful to just one person. I can be emotionally faithful and be in love with them, yet I still crave to be with other people sexually sometimes. I don't want to fix it, just want to know why I'm that way. That was a really honest question. What I will say is, like, I don't think naturally there's anything wrong with that, right? I think that, people would lie to themselves if they didn't view others as attractive. Being faithful is more of a decision than a bodily natural action. And what I mean by that is just because you feel a certain way, it doesn't mean that you have to act on the thing that you feel. Even if you are faithful, that doesn't mean that you do not or are not tempted by the opposite sex when you see an attractive person. It simply means that you have enough discipline to either say no or to distance yourself from that person. What would be the best way to deal with regret and anxiety? So obviously these are two different things. I believe that the best way to deal with regret is to ask yourself what lesson was learned from whatever event you're regretful from. Then taking that lesson and making sure that one, not only do you not do whatever regretful thing happened, but the second thing is how that regretful event actually made your life better. Because believe it or not, a lot of times 80% of regretful things, sure, it's going to be negative, but there is going to be a slim positive in the long scheme of things. So now you just have to refocus yourself on that slim positive aspect of the regretful action. And the best way to deal with anxiety, well, first is obviously, talk to a therapist. The second would be actionable plans. Actionable plans. Anxiety is asking ourselves a million and one questions. It's, increased heart rate. It's sweating. It's not knowing your left from your right. It's what if this? What about that? Actionable plans lets you put your future in your own hands, and it also allows you to take accountability for what's to come.